What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Brandon Coin YouTube channel. It is April 28th, 2022 for reference. Sorry about that. And we got some more news on old Intel GPUs. So Intel's kind of been teasing us here for a while, and their GPUs are just like right around the corner. So anytime there's any kind of information come out about them, I'm just like, what's going on? So let's just jump right into it together. Oh, there we go. So, upcoming Intel ARC A770 desktop GPU tested with unreleased drivers. This is on Tom's Hardware from a couple days ago. Intel's upcoming ARC A770 discrete GPU has been benchmarked on Puget Bench's DaVinci Resolve on legacy hardware, with drivers still unavailable to the public. So Intel's upcoming performance tier ARC Alchemist A770 discrete GPU is inching closer and closer to a release. A recent Puget Bench score result from DaVinci Resolve has been uploaded to the benchmarking platform, and there appears to be some secret sauce behind the results themselves. The utility reports a graphics driver version that is actually more recent than the one currently available for the early adopters of the Intel ARC A350M and A370M mobile graphics solutions. Those are the ones that are going in the laptops they announced, I don't know, like almost a month ago. The benchmarks themselves offer little information on Intel's upcoming A770 GPU, since the results aren't really comparable to those archived or achieved by other GPUs, while Intel's own estimates place the ARC A770's performance somewhere between an RTX 3060 and an RTX 3070. In my opinion, that is very impressive. The actual performance in the GPU effects benchmark, 45 in the first and 39 in the second, stands at roughly half the score of a 3070 solutions in the same database. Take those benchmarks with a pinch of salt until the official details are revealed. Intel's ARC A770 is expected to launch with two VRAM capacities, 8 gigabytes and 16 gigabytes of GDDR6, which feeds the card's 32 Xe cores and 4092 FP32 cores over a big old 256-bit bus. So, yeah, I mean, I swear, if Intel could just even release something on like 3060 capable hardware for a decent price, people gonna snap it up. And depending on how it mines, people gonna snap them up even faster. So there was the results. Overall score 500, but I guess people are more concerned about the GPU effects score. And if we blow this up, Intel ARC A770 graphics. So it looks like this was the 16, or no, memory. My bad. That's the actual RAM. That's not for the video card. It doesn't say how much RAM this video card has. Interesting. But there she is, ladies and gentlemen. A770. I don't know if I necessarily like or don't like their naming scheme. I guess it's different. Whereas everybody else is in like the thousands and thousands. It gets a little messy. But A770, it just sounds old. Maybe that's why I don't like it. But I'm ready for Intel to really, really hammer something out. So jumping back on the article, it says the usage of this latest driver branch may include support for desktop versions of the ARC hardware, or it simply might include a number of fixed outstanding issues with the current ARC Alchemist driver implementation. The hardware used in the benchmarks also builds the case of an internal Intel test. The ARC A770 was tested with a Coffee Lake Engineering motherboard alongside Intel's Core i5-9600K CPU. Using older time-tested components for a new desktop graphics card does sound like a way for Intel to focus on existing ARC A770 issues, ruling out sometimes lingering problems in new platforms that could throw a wrench on GPU diagnostics. Intel's driver work is likely accelerating as we inch closer to the actual release of the desktop-bound discrete graphics cards. The increasing number of appearances in graphics benchmark software suggests that might happen sooner rather than later. Whether any of Intel's GPUs will feature our best GPU picks. Whether any of Intel's GPUs will be featured in our best GPU picks, of course, is another matter altogether. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't it ain't going to take a rocket scientist or a brain surgeon to know that if Intel could release basically anything that could compete with the current entry to mid-level like 3060, 3070 territory, no LHR, and also it doesn't have the crazy prices that AMD seems to keep on shoveling. I mean, stuff is getting better, don't get me wrong, but it still ain't there. It still ain't there. Nvidia, I feel like they shot themselves in the foot because they still keep pumping out all these LHR cards. Like, beyond a shadow of a doubt right now, do I think cards would be sitting on the shelves at the prices they are if they were not LHR? No. People would be snapping those bad boys up. But LHR is just not as desirable. It takes a little bit more finicking and getting right. And yeah, so Intel, the ball is in your court, and you have the potential to just knock it out of the park. I guess that's two different games right there, but you know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So I'd love to hear your feedback. Comment down below. Are you guys interested in a 3060, in between a 3060 and 3070 tier GPU from Intel? And what would you guys pay for it? If they could give me something at 3060 territory, performance-wise, I'd probably be interested in it at like a $300 to $400 price point, as long as there's no kind of like limitations on hash rate or anything. And I'm gonna be honest, I would love to have it for it to have like 16 gigs of VRAM, but if they can save not only like on their end but pass those savings down to the consumer, I'd be perfectly fine with the 8 GB model. And kind of at that level, I feel like 8 gigs of VRAM should be enough for like a mid entry level card. So anyway, guys, I hope y'all have a good one. I'm doing that thing. It's been fun. It's been real. Just recently, the wife went out of town. She's out of town for like some wedding stuff. A friend of hers is getting married, so it's just me watching the baby all by ourselves. I got the little baby monitor, and I'm watching that like a hawk. So I'm not gonna stay on the computer long tonight, but I still do appreciate you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow night. So y'all have a good one. Peace out. Adios. Bye.